That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Mickey.
Mickey, what? Your name's
Tiki,
Mickeyfan.
Tiki
No,
and
get it
Mickey.
right. Your name's Mickeyfan. That's just not right.
I was trying something.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Once I've designated a name for you on the channel, you have to stick with it, Mickeyfan. Okay, so I'm sorry, that was weird. It's just like you can't just call yourself Mickey, there's only one Mickey here, all right?
Fair enough, fair enough.
I don't mean to chastise you in public, but that's what you get. That's what you get. Anyways, so Mickeyfan, what are we here to talk about?
Oh, we're here to talk about the third weekly challenge.
That's right. That's right. The third weekly challenge of So You Want to Be an Imagineer, season 18. The deluxe edition, but not only that, Mickeyfan, but let's just say right off the bat that we have gotten a great response to the signups that we just posted a couple hours ago, and we're up to what, like 9 people so far?
9 or 10.
Oh man, so that's basically like half of our cap off.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say we won't take people if we get past 20, but it'll
11.
I wasn't 11. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting to get to 20, so we'll see. We'll see, folks. It's going to be interesting to see how big of a cast we get.
Yeah.
So Mickeyfan, let's just go over the challenge. It was a tough one. I wasn't expecting it to be this tough.
This is such a deceptively hard challenge.
I feel like if I would have just let them design an attraction like we're doing for the elevator challenge, it would have been a lot easier. But I was like, no. Can't let it be that easy for you guys.
Yeah. And I think that this, because it's so simple, but it's so hard, you have to really stretch your mind creatively to figure out how to make this work.
Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, Mickeyfan, let's just go through it. Let's just go right into all the projects. What do you think overall about the roster this time around?
It's a much smaller roster. And I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of brought their A game when they did post. It was like you said, it was a smaller roster. I feel like everyone has their own thing going on, and they're not obligated to post every time, so it's all good. And it is a more challenging prompt. So, all right. So with that in mind, let's just get to the first one. Just jump into it. Mickeyfan, can you keep an eye on the chat since I'm doing the tabs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cool. All right, so Nigel Channing presents the Cocoa Fountain.
Yeah. Basically, in summary, I like this idea. There were just some really minor things that brought it down for me. Overall, like where Nigel Channing put the placement and some of the effects involved in the fountain were kind of okay, that's a little much.
Yeah, the placement for sure, although I don't know, it's where do you think it would have gone placement wise from within the pyramid, because that's what all the judges seem to kind of point to.
I think that, right in the center would have been nice. I think that
right in the center is the marketplace, though, hence the dilemma.
Right.
Yeah.
Or right where you come into the pyramid with the...
I would say right when you walk in. When you walk in, because there's a big open space right there.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of a nice transitioning place into the indoor-outdoor of it all.
Yeah.
So, because honestly, with the Mexico Pavilion, whenever I think of the outside of the Mexico Pavilion, I just think of street tacos and bad frozen margaritas, and I'm like, why whenever I walk by that margarita stand, I'm like, the best margaritas in the world are right inside that pyramid. Why would I ever get those? Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh god, those. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, I miss Disney World. I'm
we, we,
sorry.
we don't have time to talk. We don't have time to fan over how that is.
Oh man, yeah. We could do a whole podcast on La Cava. Anyway, so honestly, with the it is a little bit elaborate, but I do like the ambition that he's going
Oh
for.
yeah, that was I really love this ambition wise. Making a dancing fountain to the music of Coco, which makes sense. Like when you think about it, it just makes sense.
It's just like you said, it's maybe a little bit too much in terms of like the different effects that it can
Yeah,
do.
I think that the biggest one here was the projection mapping effects.
Mm,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's just a bit of a it's a bit of a kind of it's a bit too elaborate for just the fountain.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Anything in terms of Nigel Channing's growth, what do you think? How does this compare to his last two?
Um, I I only see growth and more growth from Nigel Channing. Um, which like I love that he's taking these critiques that we're giving him and he's building on them. He's making sure to address those critiques.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. And I believe the next one to be posted was Pi, right?
It was.
All right. So Pi is just he's really kind of at the top of his game here with this one. First of all, I mean, just yeah, that ball pit, just there's no reason for it to still be there, empty. Like it's honestly more ugly than the Skyway Chateau ever was.
Yeah. Oh my god, I loved this. I loved this so much. It just so I wanna talk real quick about how effective a presentation can be. The the entire thing was the Gone Working joke,
Mhm,
and the the joke itself is presented so dry, so witty, so cleverly. And Pie's presentation itself fit into that really dry, really witty, really clever part of the Gone Working joke.
yeah, absolutely. It almost kind of like you said, it almost kind of reminds me of just like it's like a comic strip panel leapt off the screen, leapt off the screen.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. A comic strip left off. You get what I'm trying
Left
to
off
say,
the
though. It's
page.
like, yeah, leapt off the page. I'm sorry. It's great. It's great.
It's, oh, I can only give this praise.
I don't really know what else there is to say. I was really surprised that he did not go with the Toontown Lake that's already there.
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons I liked it so much.
yeah. And it wasn't overwhelmingly IPE for lack of a better word. It was like it obviously very much fits into Toontown, but like it's more of a gag than
I didn't even think about the fact that it wasn't an IP. That's a good point. Especially for Toontown, it could have very easily been tied to a specific character, but it's not.
oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Huh. Cool. Okay. Yeah, just nothing but praise all around for Pi's project. Very short and sweet. I think it's proof that you can have a really effective presentation just in a forum post. Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Oh yeah. I think that especially when it comes to a forum post, look at your word usage and look at your tone in your
Spies
writing.
in disguise.
Oh yeah.
That Spies in Disguise is honestly my proudest accomplishment in all of Sorcerer's Apprentice that season. Like I liked it better than any of the serious projects I did.
We'll get into serious versus joke projects.
Okay, okay. All right. So let's see. Are there any other projects on this page?
No. Next is
No.
Outbound.
Okay, next tab. Okay. I'm not going to load up the website just because there's a lot of I just don't want it to crash the stream or anything. I just don't want it to slow down the stream. But just can I just say Outbound, I think he's probably a shoo-in to win the weekly challenges at this point
Oh, absolutely.
unless he really screws up in the last round.
Which I don't see happening.
It's just the fact that he's been able to craft his own personal brand and style. It's just it's so impressive.
And the podcast and the voice acting in the podcast.
Yeah, that's something that I kind of have up my sleeve too, so it's cool to see.
And this is probably I'm really hoping that this was Outbound's intent, because it makes me sound like a total jerk. But I love how awful the idea is. Like, just the sheer thought of a chocolate river done in real life with actual water. Just disgusting brown.
Right. I mean, like, I like the idea of Hershey Park getting waterways. I will say that much, because as far as I know about Hershey Park is a very bland park.
Yeah.
Would you attest to that? Have you been there?
But
you've heard the reputation. I've heard that from Doug specifically.
Yeah. It just sounds very vanilla.
Vanilla, not chocolate.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho. Yeah, it seems like the most interesting thing there is outside of the park gates with a little factory tour dark ride.
Exactly.
So in theory, just having placemaking like this could be interesting, could work, but like you said, it is kind of a joke at the same time. It's like, the dark, ugly brown water.
And just the sheer joke of it all and how straight it was played was brilliant. And like I said, I'm going to go into a joke proposal versus a serious proposal. There's nothing wrong with the joke proposal if you go all in on it. If you're actually pulling in a proposal.
Yeah.
And it's all in the presentation. It is just like you with the Spies in Disguise Hotel. Play it straight, play it, but keep the tone right, and kind of have those little wink wink nudge nudge moments like the Disney Dreams blog and the advertisements and all that. And this is just so good.
All right. Next up, is there any others on this page?
Pufflefan.
Okay, he's right below, right?
Yeah, they're right below.
Pufflefan. Okay, the Unity water fountain. This is honestly probably the I didn't know how to feel about this one, to tell you the truth. What do you think?
I'm with you. There's kind of two feelings about this. Like, for sheer concept alone, I really like it, but I don't think the presentation was I don't think the
I will
presentation is
say this. I think this is good. This is a good example of why you don't always need a forum. You don't always need to rely on something outside of a forum post. I think
exactly.
this could have been just as well as a for done as a forum post.
Yes. And that was kind of the biggest bring down for me.
And also, I'm just sorry. I have to keep pointing this out, but don't put your image and then put text and break up the text. It bothers my OCD so much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wish I could just go in and edit it.
Yeah, just that one little tap of the enter key or whatever.
I don't know. Like, just as someone who's just like used Word documents my whole life, it
It
bothers
is.
me. I don't mean for it to be as nitpicky as it is, but I don't know.
Yeah. And also this is the third slides presentation in 3 projects, which, going back to Sorcerer's Apprentice, that's something that brought Team Team Yesterday down too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So yeah, the concept is there, the
I do
present.
like how it's a good bit of placemaking within the
Yes.
land
Oh
itself.
yeah, absolutely. And I love the creativity in using a land that hasn't opened yet.
Mhm. Okay, I think that's about it, right?
Yes.
Okay, next page or
Next page.
okay, how many more do we have to go? 2? Well, we've got a
Joker's
few if we,
everybody.
yeah, and then we'll also cover Nigel Channing's other one too.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so Jokers, he did 2 ones. We'll talk about both of them here. We'll do Jitney Geyser, which I definitely think was the stronger of the two, and the one
Oh
he
yeah.
submitted for points. So I think that was a smart move on his part. I love this. I really, honestly, this was one of my favorites.
Oh, absolutely. I think that with better presentation, which Joker's even admitted was not awesome. But the this was just so freaking clever.
It just fits in so well to the rest of the land.
It does. And it's different from the rest of the land, despite
Yeah.
fitting so well. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just works.
Good job, Evan. All right. Also, the Tony Stark Memorial Park at Avenger Campus. To tell you the truth, I remember when Galaxy's Edge first opened. This always really bothers me. When Galaxy's Edge was announced, they had plans to do a Carrie Fisher tribute, some sort of Princess Leia tribute, and I never saw it. I don't know what became of that. I
I
was
don't
always really
think it's
looking
in
forward
there,
to it.
which is kind
What?
of a bummer.
What do you say?
I don't think it's in there.
Yeah, I know, and I feel like
Bummer.
they could have had something, man. They could have had something, and I remember that specifically being announced. So with that being said, I feel like this is like a perfect representation of what I feel like they should have had. Just some sort of fountain dedicated to Leia Organa. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's all you needed. That's all you needed. It wouldn't have been that hard, and this just it pulls it off.
Yeah, I really like this. Yeah, it's another thing that just kind of works.
Mhm. All right. Scrolling down to the Party Source Rex statues. Yes, yes.
I really like this.
I definitely think he made a good call in terms of like what he submitted for his project,
Oh yeah.
but conceptually this is pretty good.
Uh,
Um, my
it
only
very
my
much
only
like
issue with it is my only issue with it is that I feel like it doesn't necessarily fit into the rest of the land all that well.
the land just feels like so much of a hodgepodge to me, and with such a basic theme, I think I really think it works.
I guess I can't really argue with you. I mean, I don't know.
Like,
To tell you the truth, I feel like it would fit in better into Pixar Pier because
okay,
Pixar Pier is what I think of when I think of a hodgepodge of things. That's the thing. I feel like Toy Story Land. I feel like there's a more cohesive theme to Toy Story Land than you give it credit for. I actually kind of Toy Story Land is actually one of my favorite lands on Disney World property, to tell you the truth. Just because the whole idea of it is Andy's backyard,
yeah,
and I don't know, this whole thing just feels like it's a bubble bath. It should be like in a bath. Like, what are the bubble bath toys doing in Andy's backyard? You know what I mean? Maybe it's a small nitpick there. I like the idea in terms of like the water fountains and
yeah. And studios needs a water ride.
that is true. That is true. I can't deny that.
Not quite a water ride, but this does feel something of a niche.
So, all right, beyond just my weird nitpick, I do genuinely feel like this would fit in right at home at Toy Story, and I'm sorry, at Pixar Pier, because like Pixar Pier really is just a hodgepodge. It's like, oh, there's anger from Inside Out, along with Toy Story, along with Jesse's Carousel, along with The Incredibles. It really is a mixed bag.
Yeah, got a Lassiter had a hissy fit, and that was the best that they could do as quick as they could.
Oh God.
And then
All right.
Lassiter went bye bye.
Okay, let's see. So scrolling down, I believe this is the last one, right?
Yes, Basket Buddies.
Basket Buddy. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the risk and
Was that?
click on this,
Yep, there it
hopefully.
is.
Oh God.
Big Thunder Reservoir. Ah, this is my winner for the round.
Okay, can we just talk about one of my favorite water features in any Disney park and one of my favorite bits of rock work as well, which is the
Trestle.
train trestle. Yes, yes. Oh
It's
my God.
so good. It's quintessential Disneyland.
But it makes Disneyland feel way more grand and epic in scope than it ever
Exactly.
did.
And
I
then
mean, the thing I always equate it to is like seeing that is like the way that I used to picture Disneyland in my head when I was a kid,
exactly
like come to life.
just
So,
the little touches in the trestle, like the beavers that
oh, the beavers are amazing, yeah. And I love that you can only see the beavers if you're riding the boats. You
yes,
can't see the beavers from the railroad. That's a good incentive to ride the boats.
the boats themselves are a good incentive to ride the boats. Let's be honest here.
I yeah, it's the boats are fine if you can. The only problem I have with the boats is that it's like I feel like it's always like a competition to get the seats.
Yeah, that's true.
It's stressful. It's a stressful experience boarding. Once you get your seat, it's a great ride. But
Oh yeah.
anyways, so as I said in my report, in my review, I should say, the only actual problem I had with this was the fact that in spite of the fact that I felt like the village worked into the rock worked incredibly well as a transitioning point, it wasn't necessarily a water feature, and I feel like it was like maybe a little bit of a cheat to get more than just a waterfall. You know what I mean?
Um, I get what you mean, but I think that he just everything was just put together like a puzzle to the point where I would almost feel like the excuse you.
I'm sorry.
I almost feel like if that village weren't there, the project would not be as full feeling as it is.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. That it's like the I don't know. I'm trying to be nitpicky here.
And in my reviews, I said it almost feels too big for Disneyland, which
You see, I
they
don't agree with that though. I really don't.
I mean, even
Because
just scale down just a bit, it would really it would have been straight tens for me.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like because I know that area really well, because the reason I know that area really well is because my friends and I always joke about that stage wagon literally being from Knott's Berry Farm, because you can kind of see on the logo, you can kind of see the K and the F on the logo. So so I'm pretty familiar with that logo.
Okay.
Um, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so I feel like we've pretty much come to the end of this, right? Okay, so let's circle back around to weekly challenge number 4, which I'm really excited for. I feel like this has a lot more of a creative upswing than weekly challenge number 3 did, just because of the fact that you get to design the attraction itself. So it's basically like designing a pre-show.
Yeah. I'm I'm really curious to see where this is all going to lead us.
And then when I think about it, really elevators, there's so many of them when it comes to the theme parks. It was
Oh
really,
yeah.
when I was compiling the project, I was surprised by how many of them I could come up with in my head. Like a lot of them
Common.
I didn't even use.
Um,
Men in Black,
yeah, Men in Black.
Diagon Alley.
Yeah, there's so many, which
Yeah.
is kind of shocking.
Even the Walt Disney Family Museum has a really elaborately themed elevator.
Really.
Yes, it's themed to the train that Walt Disney took to California when he moved to Hollywood.
Oh, that's adorable.
And it's like a, you hear the train whistle going on and you hear Walt Disney like reminiscing, like, well, it was around this year that me and Roy decided to pack our bags and head out west.
I would love to go to the Walt Disney Family Museum at some point.
Yeah, well, I'll come down and I'll
I
go
mean,
with you. All right. So, any update on the signups?
let's take a look. Um, nope, no new signups right now. We got 11 people coming in right now. Um,
Well, why don't you
really.
pose a question, Mickey fan? Why don't you
Oh,
pose a question for us?
so with signups being so numerous, so quick,
Like
Tiki
just instantly people just like, yes, sign me up,
and
take my money.
Tiki and I were talking, and we wanted to throw it out to all our contestants about if instead of a June 1st start, we would start early. Um, and I'll post it on the thread as well. Sort of a question of the
Yeah, the
day.
idea is we'd essentially start. Oh, that would be a good question of the day. uh, we would essentially start when we would have started weekly challenge number 5. So that
Yes.
would be essentially next Friday.
Yeah.
So Friday the 22nd, which would, I don't know. Do you think that's not enough time for people to sign up that might not have seen the thread?
I mean, it's a week, so
It's a week, yeah. Well, if
uh,
you're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
yeah. So we'll we'll pull the board and yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave it up to you guys. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Sorry about the slight delay in the podcast. This has been a great round, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what becomes of the actual game. You guys are all awesome. Stay tuned, and I will see y'all later. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
It's not even nighttime yet. It's like early afternoon. I'm so thrown off by recording in the daytime.
It feels weird to have sunlight coming